Ever watched a new student walk into school and absolutely demolish the bullies who thought they ran the place? Today, we're counting down 6 anime where overpowered transfers put arrogant jerks exactly where they belong. Kicking off with number 6, Seraph of the End, Yuichiro Hyakuya. Alright, so Yuichiro isn't your typical new student because the whole world went to hell with vampires running the show. But when he joins the Moon Demon Company, he's basically the fresh meat everyone underestimates. And boy, do they regret that fast. Yu's got this reckless, punch-first, ask-questions-never energy that makes him simultaneously the most annoying and most lovable protagonist. The other soldiers think he's some hothead orphan kid who'll get himself killed in 5 minutes, but then Yu whips out his cursed gear and starts slicing through vampires like he's speedrunning Dark Souls. The bullies here aren't just schoolyard jerks. They're literal aristocratic vampires who treat humans like Happy Meals. And watching you tell them off with zero fear is chef's. I mean, it's genuinely satisfying. What's hilarious is Yu's entire personality is protect my family or I'll end you, which sounds generic until you realize he means it with psychotic levels of dedication. His demon weapon literally tries to possess him every other episode, and he's still out here throwing hands. The series has its messy moments. The pacing can feel like they're stretching 5 episodes into 12. But Yu's character development, from revenge-obsessed loner to actual team player, hits different. Plus, his rivalry with Guren and friendship with Mika adds emotional weight beyond the typical power fantasy. He's not just strong, he earns his power through legitimate struggle, and that makes his wins against arrogant enemies way more hype. Sliding to number 5, Gakuen Alice, Mikan Sakura. Now here's a curveball. Mikan shows up to Alice Academy with literally 0 special powers in a school where everyone's basically X-Men level gifted. She's the ultimate underdog, which makes her eventual victories even sweeter. The Academy kids are brutal at first. We're talking full-on social hierarchy nonsense where your Alice determines your entire worth. Mikan gets bullied hard because she seems powerless, just some countryside girl who somehow got admitted. But here's where it gets good. Mikan's superpower is basically being aggressively kind and stubborn to the point where even the meanest students can't help but respect her. It's like watching someone win a fight using the power of friendship, except it actually works because the writing commits to it. Her main bully, Natsume, starts off as this cold, fire-wielding pretty boy who treats everyone like garbage. Watching Mikan systematically break through his edgelord exterior is both hilarious and genuinely touching. She doesn't overpower him physically, she just refuses to back down, and eventually her persistence pays off. The romance subplot between them becomes one of the best parts of the series. Though I'll warn you, this show gets dark later on with some seriously heavy themes about child exploitation. What makes Mikan different from other entries on this list is she doesn't have overwhelming combat power. Her strength is emotional intelligence and determination, which honestly makes her more relatable. When she finally discovers her nullification Alice, it's not just a power-up moment. It's validation that she belonged there all along. Landing on number 4, the world's finest assassin, Lugh Tuatha Dé. Okay, this one's basically, what if John Wick got isekai'd into a fantasy world and decided to attend magic school? Lugh is literally Earth's greatest assassin who gets reincarnated with all his skills intact, which means he's essentially speedrunning childhood while planning the assassination of a hero. Casual stuff. When Lugh enters the Academy arc, it's almost unfair how outclassed everyone is. These noble kids are out here practicing basic combat magic, while Lugh's got modern combat tactics, assassin training, and magic combined into one broken package. The bullies at the Academy are your standard stuck-up aristocrats who think their family names make them invincible, right up until Lugh casually dismantles them without breaking a sweat. The satisfaction is real, because these aren't just jerks, they're genuinely corrupt nobles who abuse their power. What's refreshing is Lugh doesn't even try to hide his abilities. He's playing a different game entirely, using the school as a networking opportunity while building his assassin organization on the side. The harem elements can get a bit heavy-handed sometimes. Yes, we get it. Every girl falls for the mysterious, competent protagonist, but the actual assassination plots and tactical planning keep things interesting. Plus, his relationship with his mentor love interest Dia has legitimate chemistry beyond just, she's pretty and skilled. The anime doesn't shy away from showing Lugh as morally gray either. He'll eliminate targets without hesitation, which makes him more interesting than your typical isekai hero who's overpowered but refuses to actually use that power decisively. Looking at number 3, Noblesse, Cadis E. Raizel. Rai is the definition of overpowered doesn't even begin to cover it. This man wakes up from an 820-year nap, enrolls in high school because his loyal servant is the principal, and proceeds to accidentally terrify everyone with his mere presence. It's beautiful. The bullies at Rai's schools start off thinking they're tough guys until they realize this pale, mysterious transfer student has an aura that makes apex predators look like puppies. Rai doesn't even need to fight most of the time. His death stare alone makes people reconsider their life choices. When he does fight, it's absolute demolition. We're talking about a noble who can control blood and whose power level is basically yes. Watching him protect his new human friends from threats while trying to understand modern technology is comedy gold. Man doesn't know what ramen is, but can erase you from existence with a thought. What makes Noblesse special is the contrast between Rai's overwhelming power and his gentle personality. He's not aggressive or showing off. He just wants to live peacefully and understand this new era. The bullies and villains who underestimate him always regret it instantly. His relationship with Frankenstein, yes, that Frankenstein, adds another layer because Frankenstein is hilariously overprotective and will absolutely end anyone who threatens his master. The webtoon handles the story better than the anime adaptation, which feels rushed, but even the anime captures why Rai is such an iconic character. He's polite, dignified, and will absolutely destroy you if you threaten his friends. But trust me, number 2, it'll mess with your head in the best way possible. Moving to number 2, Classroom of the Elite, Ayanokoji Kiyotaka. Ayanokoji is hands down one of the most fascinating protagonists in anime because he pretends to be average while being an absolute monster. This guy came from the White Room, basically a facility that creates perfect humans, and he's hiding in plain sight at an elite high school. The bullies here aren't just physical threats, it's an entire system of social manipulation and class warfare. Students are ranked, discriminated against, and exploited based on their class placement. Ayanokoji enters Class D, the defective class, and proceeds to orchestrate everything from the shadows while maintaining his facade of mediocrity. Watching him dismantle arrogant students from Class A and C is like watching a chess grandmaster play against children. What's terrifying about Ayanokoji is his complete lack of conventional emotion. He sees people as tools, calculates every interaction, and manipulates situations with surgical precision. When he finally reveals glimpses of his true abilities, whether it's physical combat, academic genius, or psychological warfare, it's genuinely chilling. The rooftop scene where he drops his mask and admits he'll use anyone to avoid going back to the White Room, that's when you realize this isn't a typical school anime. The series brilliantly explores how someone that powerful navigates social hierarchies without revealing themselves. His relationship with Horikita and his actual partnership with Kei show different facets of his manipulation. Some fans debate whether he's actually developing emotions or just simulating them better, which adds fascinating complexity. And finally, number 1, Tokyo Ravens, Harutora Tsuchimikado. Harutora is the ultimate fake-it-till-you-make-it protagonist, and I love him for it. He starts off believing he's a talentless member of a famous onmyoji family, living a normal life away from the magical world. Then his childhood friend Natsume shows up, drama happens, and suddenly Harutora's enrolling in the Onmyo Academy where Japan's best exorcists train. Here's where it gets spicy. Harutora is actually Yaku Tsuchimikado reincarnated, basically magical Jesus. But he doesn't know it yet. So you've got this guy who thinks he's weak, getting bullied and underestimated by elite students, while he's literally the reincarnation of the greatest onmyoji in history. The dramatic irony is delicious. When he starts manifesting abilities that shouldn't be possible for a normal student, watching the arrogant bullies freak out never gets old. What sets Tokyo Ravens apart is the character development actually matters. Harutora isn't just handed power. He earns his growth through training, friendship, and facing genuine trauma. His relationship with Natsume adds emotional stakes beyond the typical power fantasy. The series also doesn't shy away from consequences. People die, relationships break, and victories come with real costs. The anime adaptation unfortunately ends before adapting the novel's insane plot twists, but what we got showcases why Harutora deserves the top spot. He's powerful, loyal, occasionally dense in classic protagonist fashion, but ultimately becomes the person everyone underestimated him to be. And there you have it. 6 anime where new students absolutely demolish the competition. From vampire-slaying soldiers to reincarnated assassins and hidden geniuses, these characters prove underestimating the transfer student is always a mistake. Which entry was your favorite? Drop your thoughts below, smash that like button, and subscribe for more anime breakdowns. Peace!